Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. There's a lot to cover, so I'm going to jump right into it. Don't forget, please, I need you to subscribe. The first thing we see Wyatt, and he's talking to Steffi now. He's trying to, go with the moment of that kiss and urge her to, jump into something with him. And he reminds her that, Liam's committed to Ivy and she's not going anywhere, and they've made their choice. The two of them might as well stop moaning over other people and see what happens. The next thing we see Bill and Liam. Bill is pushing hard for Liam to go after Steffi. He's not that he has anything against Ivy, but I think he thinks she's pretty boring. But it always strikes me, and I don't know, you tell me if you think the same thing, as super creepy when Bill is pushing Steffi on his son. We know that Bill was in a relationship, although briefly, with Steffi, so it always comes across as kind of weird. He also goes one further and he tells him that, he might as well make his move before some other guy does. Now, eventually, Steffi shows up and she's got lingerie with her. And Bill wastes no time in telling her how hot he thinks it is. Now, he leaves and it leaves Liam in another awkward position. So Steffi says this is something that she's looking at, revamping the new line. And he asks her, couldn't you have a sketch artist put this thing together? And she said, oh, why bother? I just went to the girls and had them whip something up. And she dares him by asking if he'd like to see her try it on. And so we leave them there. The next thing we see is we go to see Ivy, and she's with a guy from INS. Now, he tells her that she took a trip to Paris, which set off all kinds of red flags. Now, she thought that she had dual citizenship, and it turns out she didn't. The INS guy tells her that not only does she not have dual citizenship because her dad didn't file anything, she's getting deported. He hands her deportation papers, tells her that she's not even lawful to work in the country, and because of that violation, she might not even get back in the country. So at that point, she says, this is my family's company. He said, it doesn't matter, you broke the law, gives her deportation papers. And now the next thing she does is she calls Carter over, and Carter would love to help her, but he tells her that it's not his area of expertise. So this leaves her in a huge quandary, and she's really worried because she can't reach her dad as well. The next thing we see is Quinn, and we haven't seen Quinn in a long time, so this is great. Quinn visits Wyatt, and she tells him that he should have somebody in his life. And Wyatt can't really keep anything from his mom, but he should be a little smarter than this, because not only can he not keep it from his mom, that he tells her that there might be somebody in his life, even though he doesn't know her well. And after a little prodding, not much, he tells her that it's Steffi. Now Quinn is over the moon about this, and Wyatt actually gives her play-by-play of what happened right up to the point where he kissed her. And he tells Quinn that Liam's committed to Ivy, and she's not going anywhere, so he might as well try. And so Quinn's 100% behind this. And after that, we see Quinn go over to Ivy, and Ivy is super distracted, obviously, because she's got this whole INS thing weighing on her. And she tries to get rid of Quinn, but it doesn't work. Eventually, Quinn grabs the papers and looks at them, and she realizes that Ivy's being deported. Now, the last thing we see is Steffi, and we know that Steffi's not one for playing fair. She hints to Liam that somebody might be interested in her, and he gets a little curious, and she lets it slip that that person might have even kissed her. And she tells Liam that it's Wyatt, and Liam's incensed. He's like, not Wyatt. Like, this is the last thing he wants to go through after going through all he went through with Hope. But she reminds him that he said he was committed to Ivy, and she says, you know what, I'm gonna move on with my life. And she really dares him, because she says, if you want me, you need to let me know. And then she says, show me, Liam. So Liam obviously is in the same position again, choosing over two women. I'm going to try and stay awake for this one, because I'm really getting tired of seeing this. But if it heats things up for a while, then I guess it's all right. Anyways, that's all she wrote for B&B Talk. It's Paul. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media. Talk to you soon.